Investing without understanding your risk profile, your risk tolerance is not a strategy. It's a guesswork. I've seen people looking on social media, thinking about the returns on the investment, trying to find the locations where they want to invest. They're trying to talk to their friends. They're trying to buy all kind of reports to understand what's the next growth locations. That is totally understandable because in the game of property investing, return is a good part of it. That makes you happy. Risk is not a good part of the game and not everybody wants to think about it. However, the problem is not thinking about the risk when you're building your strategy is actually the biggest risk you are taking. By not thinking about your risk tolerance and your risk capacity, you cannot simply avoid the risk to actually happen. So it is very important to understand your risk tolerance and your risk capacity and build your strategy around that. So in this chapter of NPC Wealth Creation Framework, we are going to cover the different type of risk profiles investors have that would help you to match yourself with one of the risk profile, and depending on that you can build your strategy. So the risk profiling and the investor's persona, which we have covered in the last chapter, that goes hand in hand. When we onboard a client, we try to understand their personas, that is what their age is, what their income is, and we try to understand their risk tolerance and risk capacity. These are two different terms, risk tolerance and risk capacity. They may look very similar. Not many people I have found who actually understand the difference between the risk tolerance and risk capacity. But in this chapter, we're going to take a deep dive on what a risk tolerance is and what a risk capacity is, and how both of these terms are interrelated and how that actually helps you to develop your investment strategy. If you would like to know more, if you would like to understand how these foundation things actually help you to build the right foundation for your property investment journey, you miss out on the foundations and then you get lost in all the social media talks, all the conversations you're having in barbecues, or all the conversations you're having in other social gatherings. That's not going to help you. The important thing is how much you understand yourself about the property investment and how comfortably you can apply that understanding and build the foundation for yourself. So if you would like to understand more about the investors personas or the risk profiling, stay tuned. The investors personas, we have published a video yesterday which covers all the 4 types of investors personas, starting from starter persona, accumulator persona, the optimizer persona, and the protector persona. In this chapter, we are going to cover more about risk profiling of investors. These are the foundation things. I haven't seen any, I'm making a bold statement, but I have not seen any buyer's agency in Australia actually doing this foundation work when a client engages them. And these are such a crucial things to do before you ask anybody to buy a property. And the reason we do this personally in our agency is it does not only help the investor, it also helps us. When we present a location and when we present property, the investors understand that those locations and those kind of properties are presented because they are aligned to their personas and their profile.